Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a Sony SL8000 UB, and I have never worked on one of these before. I think I might have maybe worked on the first Sanyo to come to the UK, which is very similar, but not the Sony or Toshiba or any of the others. So sort of later 70s units, and yeah, weighs a lot. I think it's 18 kilos, so a bit out of breath carrying that up 2 flights of stairs. But yeah, so this one should be fully working, except I have been warned by Rich, who I bought this from, that the leaf contacts for the buttons probably will need a good clean. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, I think the first thing to do is get the covers off and take a look. Let's crack on. So I have to say, this is a very tidy machine. Feet are a little bit, but well, you sort of expect that, especially with this amount of weight and the age of this machine. See, set EE. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, it's really very lovely. I need to just, I think, oh, that's what we're after. So we have to take the front cover off. Just give those a clean. Yeah, they do look as if they could do with some TLC, but ignore the PVC. NEC PVC there, that's to come, or might have already been. But yeah, and it's had new heads at some point, and you can even see the telltale scratches. There's a bit of foil there for the alignment correction. But yeah, put 2 scratches in, which is not a bad idea actually, to put 2 in. But yeah, it's really rather lovely. Bit of dust, but not much, and I'm cleaning as I'm going along anyway. So there's a bit on the top there, just nothing at all. I mean, you know, given its age, it's really very, very dust free. Back there of the mains voltage selector. So I did hook out a cobweb, but yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice. I'm not sure where this originally came from. It's looking maybe like it might have been from maybe from a charity shop, because they're obliged to really test, pat test devices before selling them, so even if they're selling them as not working. But yeah, I think what I'll do first, before we take the front cover off, which is dead easy like this, yeah, taking the top cover off, screw here, there's a screw there, 2 in the front, 1 under the flap in a little sort of concealed bit of plastic. And underneath, very much like the Ferguson JVC DV 16. So it's just 4 screws, very similar screws but bigger. So I actually find this quite interesting. This is something, if you know Toshiba V8 600s, that's something that's quite familiar. That never disassemble, keeps the deck true, the actual chassis true. But yeah, all the belts are great. They're absolutely fantastic and crazy. See there. Is that feedback? Yeah, it's like a brake, isn't it? Electromechanical brake. Regulate the head speed. I assume. Like I say, I've never worked on this generation of machine before, so this is really, like, wow. It's just fantastic. Mains motor, of course. Yeah, all the belts are running true, so, oh, there's a little bit of kink there, but that's fine. They are good. Let's see there, where it's been used. So it's had a bit of use, but that's absolutely cool. Great big resistor there. I don't know whether that's a heater. It's probably a bit of a odd place. Oh yeah, no, it's straight underneath the head drum, isn't it? So maybe that is some sort of dew heater, or maybe they just use it to sort of keep everything dry. But wow, that's really cool. The board is quite fun. I was thinking, gosh, these are being all pushed over. Who'd do that? Obviously Sony. This is interesting as well, how this is sort of on the side. It should be mounted in there, but obviously they've taken it out and put wires on, bent these over because there wasn't enough space with the board in. I'm guessing this is something to do with the PAL variant, that these were too big, or just the part supplier at the time, these were too big, so they've just pushed them over and glued them. What's going on under that one? Yeah, they've even put a wedge and glued it to the wedge. That's hilarious. But wow, this is so cool, really cool. Main switch is a little bit, I have lubricated it and it is getting there. So yeah, but of course these things were never used, these main switches, so I'm not terribly worried about it as long as it works. Got fuses up there. Take the side panel off to get to those, I assume. Yeah, let's take the one screw out and it unclips. Great. And fuses in there, fuse block. Screw there to get to them. So yeah, so let's get the front cover off, front panel, and have a look at those switches. So for no particular reason, I'm going to take off the bottom board unique connectors. So it's an easy thing to do. So yeah, I'll do that. Oh, they're quite stiff. Just slightly worried about the plastic. I mean, it seems pretty good, to be fair. But I don't want to push those because too much. Because I don't want to break the plastic. There we go. Panels off. So I've taken the front off and the what is it? SY1 board, system control. And you can sort of see how this is all being controlled. So we've got some rather lovely leaf switches, and then we've got a few leaf switches, and these are the ones that Rich was suggesting needed to be cleaned, and yeah, they are pretty poor, to be fair. So yeah, I'll get and clean those, and yeah, hopefully we should be able to actually try this, and I'm hoping for a good outcome, because the machine it just looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let's crack on. sorted the main switch out. It's now a lot better. Occasionally sticks, although I've been working it and it seems fine now. What I did is I used some silicone multi-purpose grease. Just put a little bit on the, you can see it really very well. That little bit of metal you can see over the top there. Just put some on the top of that and work it, because that's the latching mechanism. And yeah, it seems fine. So that's cool. Also cleaned the leaf switches, and I just used an emery board just to clean those up. So we should be good with those. I don't know whether there's any alignment. I probably not. We should be okay. I did take off a couple of connectors as well, and I've taken the grease off here and put some of this silicone grease on there as well. Metal against plastic. I just thought that was probably quite a good grease to use there. So yeah, I'll put this back on. I'll do something about that as well. Yeah, put some grease there as well. I've got some red grease which I might put there. But yeah, I'll do that and we'll give it a test, I suppose. All back together. To give this a clean. Just cleaned it. I cleaned it. Now, this is a bit of a whistle-stop tour of this machine. Just because I'm hoping that it is actually... it's just going to work. I do have a second one though, and that one I do actually want to go like really in depth and just work right the way through it. I believe that one's also in very good condition, but I just want to do it because I want to experience these machines. But yeah, let's crack on and sort of get this back together and give it a test, I guess. Okay, so let's power it on. It's really not the best way to do this, but I'm going to reach right way over. Power on. Well, that's quite cool. So on. Oh, that relay was a bit stuck. It's a heck of a crack from it. And the clock went off. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. I do expect there to be interesting things with this. And well, that's totally missed. It's totally missed the guide there, so let's just try that again. This isn't great, is it? But it's not been on for a long time, so let's give it the benefit of the doubt. And, hang on a second. Take up. Oh, I don't know. Right, so I had a quick look through the manual, and there was mention about these this release mechanism. And yeah, that is going to need some work. Okay, well, we'll look at that. It's a bit of a build-up of dust there, but I'm intrigued to see if this will actually play. Yeah, so that's now wrapped properly. So yeah. Not liking what it's doing to the tape there. It's like very, very tight. And the amount of pressure. I mean, this is a damaged tape, so you can see it's damaged as it goes in, but yeah. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Okay. So the plan is to remove this top loading system with a 2.5mm Allen key, and then hopefully replace the tyres. If not, I might have to rubber renew them, but I'd rather replace them. As you know, I only use rubber renew in an absolute last ditched attempt, or more to clean stuff as well. Sometimes it is quite useful just to clean off contaminated rubber, but yeah, I try to avoid it. So I have to take the tape counter belt off. That's no real biggie. That's fine, it is free, it's just it was hooked around there. So belt looks good. just wondering if that's working quite as it should. So it's taking off the brakes. What's actually... What's actually pushing these out? It feels almost like there should be a spring. Yeah, I might have to have a look at that in the manual. To see what's going on. So idlers, yeah, they're quite interesting, and it looks like I'm probably going to have to take this off anyway, which might actually give me a bit of a clue how it works. It's quite ingenious. Yes. So I need to find my screwdriver. Found it. So there doesn't appear to be any alignment with putting this back in. It's actually just got locating pips on the deck. So that's something. I'm probably doing this wrong because I remember when I flicked through the manual, it sort of made quite a thing of how this comes apart. So, we'll see. Oh, another screw. Thought there were 3. And that does look as if it has some adjustment on it, unfortunately. So I'll just have to see. I took a screw out that I didn't need to, which is not great. Although there isn't any adjustment on it, it's just there, so that's good. Separate now. Remove that, which I didn't mean to do. Right, let's have a look at these idlers. I don't quite have anything like this, but we'll see. So it's not terrible, but yeah, it's not great either. I'll probably just take that assembly off. Like I said, I've got another one of these, and I'm going to go much more in depth with that one. This one I don't want to play with it too much. I have a feeling there's more wrong with the other one. Let's pull that out for now. Probably am going to have to take this apart, aren't I? So those 2 tyres are the same. And then we've got another one here, which could be a bit of a fiddle to get off, but we'll give it a go. Whew, that was hard work. Have I turned that inside out or have I not? No, I haven't. It felt like I had. Can be a bodgy way of getting a bit of life out of a tyre, but yeah, doesn't end well. So there's that one. So I'm going to go and have a look now, see if I can find replacement tyres. Otherwise, we'll just have to rejuvenate them. The clutch seems okay, so that's good. Yeah, so let's crack on. So I have found replacements for these. I did mean to show you the actual tyres that I found, but they are ever so slightly narrower, but they'll do the job. I'm going to keep these anyway in case they don't, but they're looking pretty good. So, but I couldn't find this one. I found one very, very close. This is a little bit too big, and it was sagging on the plastic assembly. So, rubber renew to the rescue. I mean, to be fair, this tyre is not that bad. This is a play idler, and yeah, it should be fine. It's on a clutch anyway, so it's not like it's going to have it needs to be like 100% torque all the time anyway. But if that sort of makes sense, you know, if there's a tiny bit of slippage, it's not going to matter that much. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to wipe over the top. Might as well do the inside of it as well, what it's worth. Yeah, I'm wearing gloves, of course, because it's horrible stuff. You don't want it getting absorbed into your skin if you can help it. So let's try and get this back on. Does seem to be quite a play in the clutch, I have to say. I noticed the plastic on the top was cracked before I even started, but it seems fine. But yeah, there'll be a spring on the top of this that's pushing down on the top bit of felt. There's two bits of felt, one at the bottom, one at the top. This is captive to that. This is what turns, so this slips to pull the tape through at just the right tension, in inverted commas. So yeah, yeah, and I mean the thing is, I mean when I first tried it and it was really like pulling the tape, I seem to remember that these L830s are not recommended on these old machines because it will just stretch the tape. So yeah, if you get one of these and you put an L830 in there, don't expect it to do too well. It will cause damage. So it's cleaning up. I did put some grease on. There's metal running through plastic there, so I've got some PTFE just there, which I noticed I have slightly overspilt. I've put a little bit of light oil on a couple of these, just on the tops, just a tiny bit, and then wiped off the excess, just so it sort of rejuvenates it. The front loading system, the top loading system. We're a few years away from that. I've cleaned most of the grease off. I just spotted a bit there that I've missed. I will use some of the red grease on this because it's good stuff, and it might just help it eject. I did check the manual on the eject mechanism, and it is actually pretty basic. I thought it gave more details, more things you needed to do, but no, it doesn't. It's just the whole thing about using a cassette with the top loading mechanism out, which we will try just now. But yeah, I think we can probably try this and just see what happens. That got a bit all over the place. So I think that's the motor start capacitor, 300 volts AC. Yeah, it is. So let's start the motor, the mains motor. So I thought I'd just clean the heads. Also, which I didn't show, there was sort of gunk. In fact, there's still some gunk there. All the way around and all on the top, and also on this guide. And it was almost like some sort of like filler that hadn't properly been mixed, like araldite or something, or something similar that just hadn't been mixed properly, and it was just really thick goo. I'm sure it wasn't grease, but yeah, I've got that much muck off the heads already, and I reckon one more pass will probably be enough. So not pressing too hard. Good old paper trick. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty mucky. Let's give it one more go. Let's do it on this side. Yeah, that's almost clean now, so I'm happy with that. I suppose we ought to power it on and see what happens. Okay, so let's try a cassette. So inside there you can go from there as well, and this is actually a calibrated height. So yeah, let's see what happens. We're unlaced. It's missed. Oh, it actually stops it. Anyway. Oh, it's when the carriage comes up, isn't it? Yeah, triggers something. So why is this missing, or is it just the tape was slack? So do it the other way. Yeah, this isn't quite coming back. So I'm tempted to actually give this a try. Without the carriage on. I'm just sort of desperate to see if it does actually work. Sort of, I think is the answer to that. There's some tracking. I do actually wonder if that sort of sweeping noise is a little bit of a clue. I don't think there's anything wrong with the heads. Pause. Yeah. Just take off the back tension. Just increase the back tension, see if that changes anything. Don't know. Do I possibly have a transformer issue? You can see the tracking is working. I mean, the heads seem really good, to be fair. Yes, I think what I'll do is I'll put the carriage back on. I need to adjust this so it is actually properly. It's quite cool that properly back where it should be when it's unlaced. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So the fun of the eject system. I'm still not convinced this is working properly, but anyway, let's get this in. And I think if I go down to here and then put that underneath, and then this bit here, and for memory I do this side up first and then I align this side, and how I align that I'm not sure, but we'll work it out. Okay, so that's in. Carriage back on. Can I get to stuff? Yes, I can. So I'll put the carriage on. Just realised I've got this the wrong side of this. So I don't know if you can see this. Yes, I've put this the wrong side of the eject assembly. So I need to fix that. That's why it wouldn't work. Oh dear. Anyway, let's get this back together. Should now do the trick. Hopefully. still won't go down. What am I missing? Into something? I thought it was fairly straightforward. Oh, whether that was a good thing or not. Something twanged. I don't know what I did wrong with putting this in. But I obviously have not done it right, and yeah, just don't do it this way. Don't do it the way I've done it. I'm missing a washer as well, which I will find. I don't know whether it was missing when I took it off, but this is always a problem when you're doing sort of these things over several days. I can't remember. I thought there was an extra one, but I do have these, so that's fine. The other thing I did do, this was under the back tension arm. Yeah, basically, I can show you now. There is a small rest where the back tension arm actually sort of parks, and this should be a complete rubber surround. It's just a damper really, and it's well and truly just gone to go. So what I've done is I've used some heat shrink, 3:1. I found some that was like 3 times bigger than the bit of metal it's going on to. Heat shrunk that. It's got glue inside it as well, and yeah, it's not brilliant, but from a tidiness point of view, but it's actually really good, and the back tension arm is well tensioned as well. So yes, we are well and truly getting there, I think. Still on. Let's press stop and it goes down. I think that's right, but it just feels really clunky. Let's crack on. So I don't know whether I recorded how to actually sort this back tension arm parking position out, but in case I haven't, this Allen screw here, free it off in the parked position. No, what I actually did is I wound this on a bit, just so it sort of moved it forward a tiny bit. Then I loosened this off, put a flat blade screwdriver in there, and just tensioned it up. And I just sort of played with it until this was literally, I mean, it's just about touching the, oh, a bit of muck there, touching the pad that I put on. I'll give that a clean. I missed a bit. Let's crack on. So one thing that was concerning me was this carriage is just not going low enough. So you can see there's one of the stops for the cassette. There's another one. It's not nearly going or being held low enough. And I thought, this doesn't sort of quite make sense, because there's like quite a uniform gap and there's no adjustment for that. And I thought, I wonder. And of course, it's the lid. So you have to have the cassette lid on in order to try this, or obviously keep the cassette carriage down, pressed down. But yeah, it relies on this to actually properly seat the cassette in the carriage and in the mechanism. So I'll get this put back on and we'll give it a test. So that's much better. That's actually locating properly as it should now. Eject works. It sort of, oh, you've got to press stop. Press that down. Yeah. Okay, let's give it a test. So let's plug it back in. And I don't know whether that should unlatch, you know. Right, good. So far so good. And let's press play. Tape's a bit damaged anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wonder if this tape's actually any good. Seems awfully damaged. It's actually coming out the cassette shell damaged. Yeah, let's wonder if I try another tape. Still not convinced. I'm sure that should stop. Anyway, I'll have a look at the user manual actually, because I just seem to recollect it did stop when it ejected. I might have just missed something out when I put the front loading system on. Front loading system? Oh, it's called front loading system. Top loading system. Let me find another cassette. Well, at least it's picking up the actual thing. Yeah, that's looking a lot better actually. Oh, and yeah. Just bear with me a second because I need to just get past the copyright bit. Oh, that's lovely. So that realistic tape has had it. Probably find there's nothing on the tape now. What's going on there? Yeah, we were sort of having this before, weren't we? I mean, it's playing perfectly. The tape path is really good. I think. Let's compare the in with the out. Thought I spotted a bit of damage, but then no, it's fine. But we've got this sort of weirdness going on with it again. Something in video processing, maybe? Seems to have got worse as it's warmed up. Sort of makes me wonder if I have got maybe a capacitor or something that's going a bit bad in the video circuit. Might be worth a check. Yeah. It's almost like it's got a tape path issue, but there isn't a tape path issue. Oh, now it's fine. Oh, okay. Oh, that's perfect. Tracking left. You see that little bit of a hunt there. Center. Tracking right. A little bit coming in the bottom there. But that's really, really good. Mystery. So it could be maybe contacts. And maybe me just starting to use this machine, it's working. I'd be quite chuffed if that's all it is. I did clean the contacts, the leaf contacts. I'm guessing one of which will switch on or switch over from the tuner to this. I don't know, to be honest. But I mean, that's perfect. Pause. Pause isn't bad, actually. That is amazing. For a two-head machine from 1976. That is outstanding. Okay, well, we are very, very close to having this finished. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to rewind this cassette and I'm going to play it right the way through. And just play with the machine a bit, just test a few cassettes through it. I'll do that all off camera. And then we'll round up the video and go through a few bits and pieces. Let's crack on. Oh, and I also need to get that belt on. I'll do that off camera because, well, yeah, might be a bit of swearing involved. Let's crack on. So that's another 3 hours of playback completed, and it's not MrBetaByte. It's been absolutely perfect, and I'm so pleased with it. Clock buttons and timer, all of that is all fine as well. Might notice the timer button flashing through most of the video. It will do that if the clock's not set. But yeah, really, really cool. Pause button, pause light comes on. So yeah, an interesting thing with this actually, if I just press stop, put this to TV, so it turns off the RF out. If I press play, it automatically flicks it to tape, which is so cool, and that's done mechanically. There's actually a linkage that runs along here, along the side of the deck, that actually pushes this switch to tape when you press play on the recorder. So cool. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like I say, I've got another one to look at, much more detailed on that one, I think, hopefully. And it's worth, I know these machines are old and they are a bit clunky and they don't offer the best quality, but as a collector I would really love to own one of these machines. They are just so amazing and so industrial, even though they're, like it describes it in the manual, it's a domestic video recorder, and how they've scaled down the size of it through integrated circuits. And yeah, but honestly, it's just such a great machine and a joy to own and to use. I just love the sheer physical quality that you get when you're pressing these buttons, and everything is so manual. Like I say, I don't think I'd want to put an L830 through it because it would rip it to shreds. Although this would probably be fine. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this one. And a like and a subscribe would be fantastic as well, because we've got lots more to come. Lots more to come. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.
And that's all from us on this Christmas Day. God bless. Good night.
Good evening to you once again. We missed out on the snow this Christmas, but if you did want snow, well, North Africa was the place to be, and that sounds incredible.